Dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the whole Presidium of the Austrian Academy of Sciences, it's my great pleasure to welcome you to this two-day event on convergence, interfaces of the digital and the living, which is organized jointly by the Academy and the Vienna Science and Technology Fund. And as President of the Division of Humanities and Social Sciences, it's my special pleasure and honor to open this conference today. For those of you who are not entirely familiar with the Academy of Sciences, the OeAW, as we call it, rests on three pillars. It is the largest non-university research organization in Austria with 25 research institutes and a range of research facility centers. It is also a learned society of over 760 members, both from Austria and abroad, who are eminent scholars in their relevant fields. And it is also a research funding organization with a range of fellowship programs and prizes and awards, including the Austrian Academic Scholarship Foundation for talented students. And this conference has been organized by members of the Young Academy, which is a very important part of our learned society. The conference is the last in a series of events which the Academy has launched under the title Colloquium Digitale, in digitization, individual and society. The English translation is a little bit difficult, so in German, Digitalisierung, Mensch und Gesellschaft. And the aim of this series is to encourage an inclusive debate between the expert community and the public on the risks and mainly also the opportunities associated with digital technologies such as artificial intelligence. And with this event on convergence, we are already now moving beyond the digital territories. Personally, as a scholar who deals mainly with the legal and regulatory side of these issues, I'm particularly grateful that this event is taking place. And last night, I had already the opportunity to discuss with a number of speakers of today's conference, and I would like to congratulate Christoph Bock for bringing together such an amazing group of speakers from virtually all over the world. And I would like to thank all those involved in organizing today's event. First and foremost, of course, Christoph Bock, who has already been mentioned and who's kind of the brains behind everything we are seeing today and tomorrow. But also the other members of the Young Academy Organizing Committee, Hannes Fellner, Astrid Mager, Ann-Sophie Meinke, and Astrid Weiss. And not to forget Georg Bavenico-Brunner and Astrea Windegger, who have done most of the administrative work behind the scenes. Colleagues, I'm afraid the 3 minutes assigned to me according to the program are up. I wish you and I wish us 2 interesting and stimulating days. And I will now hand over to Michael Stampfer from our cooperation partner, the Vienna Science and Technology Fund. We are very grateful for this cooperation. And Michael, the floor is yours.
Dear Christiane, dear Christoph, ladies and gentlemen, you are dear distinguished guests from and speakers from all over the world. This is one of the main rooms of science history and science track in Austria. This was the main room of the old university here. And Vienna in 1900 was among the top 5 research locations in the world, which was easier then than today. But afterwards, a long demise began, a long time of insignificance of research in Austria, with a sad development which ended in the 70s, 80s, and from there on a kind of catch-up process started again. And we are running fast in a world of fast-running people. So we should know where and how we invest in science and research, and how we see science and research, and which kind of niches would be interesting for us. Vienna is great in a number of research fields. You will also see it and hear it from the local speakers who are doing amazing things. But we have to think and think hard where to go in the next years and next decades. And the usual answers that, well, let's go in all directions, or let's only have a look at my very narrow field, are not the right or not sufficient answer, both not sufficient answers. So this conference is a much needed view into the future. And one of many activities of the Academy of Sciences to guide us all, to guide itself and its members and its institutes, but to guide us all into a direction where Vienna, where Austria should invest, and how we could further our initiatives, in which directions, in which fields, and the interface between the digital and the living is one of the most exciting and one of the most promising. With digital and AI, we see a lot of changes in research content, but what amazes me also a lot in the way how research is being done and performed. We are discussing that a lot here. And this also allows us to think about the niches, where to go. For example, when we did recently a funding call in Vienna for AI and ML in biology and medicine, we found around 100 groups already active in this field. However, lots of them are small islands still, and things have to grow together, and this conference will help here. Our goal as a research funder is to strengthen research in Vienna by running interdisciplinary funding calls and by helping to bring top talent here to Vienna, and therefore it was naturally to support the Academy and Christoph in setting up this wonderful conference. And one special, I want to end with one special concern of our funding organization, which is called digital humanism. You will hear about that in the conference in once or twice again, how we keep up human dignity, human control, and what we find attractive in our civilization, also in the digital age. So if 2 or 3 of you will go out of this conference as contributors to digital humanism, this would be a personal success for me. So my 3 minutes, I think, are already over for a minute, so I stop here. Thank you very much.
Good morning. Can I have my slides, please? Here they are. Perfect. So, welcome to the symposium and workshop Convergence, Interfaces of the Digital and the Living. I hope we will have 2 very exciting days ahead of us. I'm a computer scientist who is working in biology and medicine. I have profited myself from very close interactions with researchers in the humanities, in ethics research, and I've done projects with artists, which I also enjoyed. So I hope that some of this kind of interdisciplinarity and the creativity that comes out of talking to people that are not on your hallway at the same university, that this is something that this event can foster. We have 3 elements to this. We have the symposium, which we are at the beginning of here, with invited speakers, short discussions, and coffee breaks. Coffee breaks being the essence of a conference, the place where you can discuss further what was in the talks and where you can meet your colleagues and discuss. We also had a kind of open part of the event for did I write patient-contributed program? I mean participant-contributed program. That comes from too many years in the biomedical research, I think. So we had many of you submitting ideas for short talks, for discussion sessions, etc. So we will have dedicated, I will talk more about this later, discussion sessions on digital humanism, on aging and medicine, robot rights, and data interfaces. And tonight we have an evening event, a panel discussion on living the future, how biomedical technology and AI may change society and humanity, with probably the first time ever that in this room kind of serious electronic music is played by Patrick Pulsinger, in the room that Beethoven pioneered his 7th Symphony, for example, and we hope that all these ladies here on the side will appreciate what we do tonight. I have just a few recommendations for you attending this conference. First and foremost, talk to some of the people you don't normally talk to, like see, and if possible, go out and with some new ideas, something that you might want to read more about or learn more about, or even do differently. We have social media hashtag Convergence 2023. There's another conference just happened somewhere in Canada last week that also used the same hashtag, so we need to dominate over those. Please, if you're still using Twitter, I can imagine many reasons not to use Twitter anymore, but if you still do, use this. And we have a group photo, so at the end of the first session, we will meet just before the lunch break. We will, second session, just before the lunch break, we will meet here on stage for a group photo. With that, I want to introduce one more thing. You have probably all seen how AI is now used to generate images, and somehow taking a stylized consensus of all the images that are out there to generate images from words. And I will run kind of a test along this conference where I use the titles of all the speakers' talks to ask the AI what the AI thinks of this would look like. And you will see a lot of things that are thought-provoking, also things that are quite offensive in some way or another, where the AI just misunderstands what human beings are doing. And that's a bit the purpose. So to see what AI can do already, but also where it clearly fails and probably also does things that we would want to do different as human beings. So this is what I'm using several of these imaging-based methods, but this is basically what the AI does with the title of this event. Now, with no further ado, let's start with the first session. Bodies, cyborgs abound. And just going very quickly through the 4 talks, Oskar Assmann on bionic extremity reconstructions, cyborgs ahead. This is what the AI thinks. Or brain plasticity and body augmentation. Sounds pretty scary. Augmentation design and exploring the future body. That's probably the future I'm most afraid of. But this looks better. No, this is calm technology. So sorry, this is the last talk is calm technology. So with that, I would like to hand over to the first speaker, Oskar Assmann from the Medical University of Vienna.